It's training camp season. Today we're looking at the Atlanta Falcons, and we're going to get a good look at Michael Penix. We're going to watch him throw the rock around, everything else, a little bit from today's joint practice. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're looking at training camp every day. We're looking at the joint practices, what your players are doing behind the scenes, your rookies, your position battles, and those guys you're getting ready to draft in fantasy football here soon. Click that button. Stop missing out. We're looking at Michael Penix today. We're going to loop this and keep talking ball. We're going to keep talking about the Falcons. We're going to talk fantasy football. We're going to talk about what we've been reading, seeing, hearing, everything else. There it is. And London has been killing it. And you're seeing the rapport. Kyle Pitts, Drake London a lot in these clips. A lot you're hearing about that. In training camp. Oh, flag. A lot of this is from today. A lot of this is fresh. London, highlight grab. I might do a full video on London. I got a lot on him. Just so I can talk. Look at that. Just right off. Bullying it. Then you got Pitts. Pitch and catch play. There we are warming up. There's Penix right there. Slinging it. Cinematic footage. Looks like we're dealing with the elements. Pitts. Here we go. Getting the lefty, getting it downfield. Pitts again. Again, it's pitch and catch, though. Downfield again. Pitch showing the feet there. There we are. Getting it downfield. Boom. Old Ray getting it. Downfield with Michael Penix. Drake London special. Casey Washington getting it. He's getting it. More warming up. More Kyle Pitts. Downfield. There we are. Right off the release. More Pitts coming at you from today. That's from today. A lot from the joint practice. I just saw the joint practice and realized I needed to show some love to the Falcons. And today was the day. There's London. London smooth. Pitts right there. Off the release, same one. Bam, getting it. Nasty off the slant. Especially when you got a DB on him. There it is, the smoothness of London and the ball skills. Former basketball player. So what I'm hearing from gathering all this, looking into all this, and some of this is from fans even, that he'll be off on some points in some practices. But when he throws dots, he throws dots. That is what I've read. When he throws dots, he throws dots. Like, there'll be some instances where he'll look like a young quarterback, but when he throws dots, he throws dots. One thing that was noted in the media, and this was earlier in camp, that he's looking to target Kyle Pitts. Quarterbacks, coaches will talk about getting players involved, and then the numbers will look one way or the other. Once you get in season, Kyle Pitts building a rapport, though. The one thing to note is a lot of people are down on Kyle Pitts due to fantasy football, but you also have to understand the context of everything. There's just a lot of dogs in this offense. Years prior, they dealt with tribulation at quarterback. There's just a lot of weird context. On top of that, he's a tight end. Tight ends take longer to develop. And that being said, we're in another year after some development. After him having a good start to his career, especially as a rookie, working with different quarterbacks, with his quarterback now. You got Drake London, though, who's going to own a good 20% share of the passing production. Probably more than that when it comes to targets. I mean, target share, not passing production. He'll have more than that. But he'll have a good 25-ish% target share. Kyle Pitts, combined with Darnell Mooney, London, the targets to Bijan Robinson. Raider McLeod will get his opportunities here and there, depending on how the flow of the game's going. That is what's going to impact him. It could be a year where we take a massive step up in development. It could be. We see that a lot Like kind of like with an Evan Ingram. Like later on down the road with these tight ends, they flash a little, they'll do a little, they're up and down a little bit, and then all of a sudden, boom. All of a sudden, boom. You could catch that this year. You could catch that. You could also see a lot of volatility because you got so many dogs in the offense. Now, if you're a Falcons fan, you're happy you got so many dogs in the offense. You're happy you got a guy like Kyle Pitts stretching the seam, allowing things to be a little bit easier for London, the slots, Mooney, for what you got. Bijan Robinson, getting the ball in the flattened space. You love that. Fantasy football-wise, this is the year where Pitts is appropriately priced and is at a good value. So if you really want to, there's no really cost there that hurts you. Like say we revert back to last year and up and down production fantasy football-wise is there. It's also the tight end position. You can keep moneyballing it throughout the season with the waiver wire if you want. But at that price, if that step forward happens and what we're hearing from Penix rolls true in game and he gets more targets, more work, that price that's there might be money for you because there's a bunch of tight ends already off the board there. Running back is tiered out. Now you're taking flyers. Wide receivers tiered out. Where he's coming off the board. You're looking at the underdog draft ADP. You're probably going to be looking at similarly in your home leagues. London's expensive. He might be underpriced, actually. He's going in the second round. He gives you the good potential of getting a good running back, depending on your draft, and him. Like, he is going at a good value. He is going at a good value. You can get a stud wide receiver, a stud target share with a good ADOT, average depth of target downfield, with a quarterback that's on the come up in the second round. And while you're looking at this, and you're looking at wide receivers in that range, who do you see in that range that could really usurp and leapfrog other wide receivers who's trending that way? It is Drake London. It's Drake London, so you got the upside gamble as well with target stability because Penix is going to look his way, and he's mossing out there. He mossed out there today. That's the thing about that. Drake London has been getting it. And the other thing about that, Bijan Robinson is always going to be one of the top running backs off the board. It's cut and dry with him. Tyler Algier, though, split on the ADP to the point where you got a cheap handcuff. You don't have to worry. It's just whether or not you want to hold him or shoot for an upside running back throughout the process. That's the question with that. And when you're looking at Michael Penix, fantasy-wise, good value quarterback here. This is a team with weapons. If he's not taking a step forward, you're going to know real quick. You're going to know real quick. As long as you don't have that sunk cost fallacy, but the price should not be there enough for you to have that. You're going to know real quick if he's real or not because the weapons here. Like, everything's built around him. When everything's built around a young quarterback, they should develop much quicker because you don't have those excuses. Unless there's injuries this year, you shouldn't have those excuses. You got Bijan. You got Drake London. You're talking 2 top 15 players in ADP right now. On your team, your main assets, Kyle Pitts, first-round tight end prospect. You're looking at Darnell Mooney, who's getting drafted around the middle rounds of drafts here in fantasy, and just using that as a gauge of your players because people put money on it. That's the market saying, hey, we like him. Ray McLeod had some big games last year. He had his moments. This is a team that is built. You got Algier, can take a lot of work up the gut. This is a team that's ready to rock and roll. And they just need the young quarterback to step in. And the Michael Penix story, those injuries at Indiana, and during that time when he was cooking at Indiana, he was a prime draft prospect. He was in those draft circles. A lot of people were watching him as a prospect coming along when those injuries happened. The shoulders, the legs, all that. And we go to Washington. We pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and we facilitate the football to some stud wide receivers. We get Jalen Polk drafted in the 2nd round. Rome Odunze goes off. Then we see Jalen McMillan. And we're able to distribute the rock. Now, you think they're built differently, Washington and Atlanta, obviously, because you got Pitts, Bijan there. But there's weapons there, and he can distribute the rock. He was considered a high-end draft prospect with 2 different collegiate programs, coming back from major injuries. During his tenure with Washington, he was considered a first-round pick. And then during draft season, somehow the media just didn't like him. But during the season, well, college football playoff, I get it. But during his tenure at Washington, people were looking at him, talking first-round pick, talking this and that about Michael Penix. And now all of a sudden, it's like that HR meme where you got that one guy who's at the top of the box. The lady's like, hey, what's up? And then the fat guy down at the bottom who says the same exact thing, hi, to her. She's like, oh no. That was how the media was like with Michael Penix. You're looking at the age, you're looking at the injury history. The age also indicates experience, rapid growth potential at a faster pace. And he's got that with different programs in college, having to come up from those injuries, rebounding, showing that he's a competitor, showing he sticks with it, that he doesn't roll over. If you think about it, you've had quarterbacks that rolled over, or quarterbacks that did not rebound to the degree. Spencer Rattler, totally different story, totally different context. But he had that fall off at Oklahoma, 5-star prospect. He rebounds, but not to the degree to Penix, but totally different context because Penix had the weapons. 1st-round pick, a 2nd-round pick, a mid-round pick, all drafted in the same draft. But still, he can facilitate the football. You got the lefty here. From what I'm hearing, camp's looking good. And from what I'm reading from fans, he'll be off sometimes, but he'll throw those dots. And when he throws dots, he throws dots. I'm remembering that quote in my head. When he throws dots, he throws dots. I think nonetheless you're getting fun football. You're getting fun football from Michael Penix, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, whatever you want to call it. It's coming at you. Let me know what you think in the comments below and hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.